Hey guys, Shake and Bake here. It is time for video log number 2. Did number 1 yesterday. I was all pumped up and excited. Had a great day. And I'm still having a great day. It's a new day. I feel great. And so I'm doing another video log. See, I really appreciate the comments that came back. You guys are awesome, really supportive, and very, very kind. I appreciate that. So as long as people enjoy this, I'll keep doing them. I want to hear your comments. Today's topic, what I'm talking about today, because there was a comment yesterday on the video log, someone, basically, and they weren't rude or nothing. They're just saying, aren't you a little bit old to be doing YouTube videos? And I've struggled with that, to be honest, with my YouTube channel, and especially like doing a webcam and all that. You wonder, am I an old fart doing this? So that does come up. But I'm going to tell you kind of my journey and kind of a little bit how I got to where I'm at. Some of you, and I'd like to hear like your journey. This is basically about why I gamed then and why I game now. And I'd love to hear your guys' maybe in the comments below. You could do a short summary of why you like the game, how you got into it, and why do you do it now. So here we go. So let's start off. You see this image behind me right here. You see that guy back there behind me with the green circle, all that hair? I mean, look at that. Look at that flow back there. And that little mustache. That's Shake and Bake right there. That's me, a senior in high school. I lived in Frankfurt, Germany. My dad was in the military. That was the American high school. I was playing football. I wouldn't say typical jock, but I guess typical jock, right? I played sports, from like 5, 6 years old all the way till I was a senior. Basketball, baseball, football every year. That's what I did. That's what I did forever, right? And that was my last year right there. Look at the hair we had back then. That was just epic. A lot of good friends in there. I still actually am in contact with some of those guys through Facebook. It's pretty awesome. So the reason I'm showing you that is because I actually got into gaming about my junior, mostly senior year of high school. And how that happened was I always had 2 lives going on. I was this jock, right? Letterman's jacket, all that stuff, playing the sports, hung out with the jocks. Well, what happened is I had to take a free elective, right? For a class. And I was getting ready to graduate. Oh, it was my junior. No, it was my senior year. At the start of it, basically I needed some free electives. And I saw this computer class in the afternoon. I thought, that sounds like that could be pretty, not easy, but, just go kind of sham for the afternoon. So I signed up for it thinking, I'll just do one and get it over with. And it was something like, this is back in the early days now. And I'm going to show you the next picture here. This is back in these days, my friends. Atari 800, Commodore 64s with the floppy disks. This is when it all started, my friends. This is like the birth of gaming. And I remember in 7th, 8th grade, maybe, I remember like when Pong first came out. It was mind-blowing back then. So I take this class, and it was like an introduction to computers or something, programming, I don't know. I get in there, and I'm like, looking around, and it's all a bunch of, and I hate to say the word nerds, but they were nerdy dudes. I was the jock, right? And so I thought, oh my, this is going to make me look bad or whatever. I'll be speeded up. Greatest bunch of guys and gals I'd ever met. They were so much fun. And the funny part is I loved it. So what happens is I get in there and I get hooked on it. I don't tell my jock buddies. There's no way. But at lunchtime, I was so hooked on this class. I would go up at lunch to the classroom with the other couple dudes and start working on our programming, right? And so I start taking, basic, advanced basic, Pascal. I even ended up in the last part of it. Maybe I started as a junior. I can't remember. I actually took Fortran, which was, back then it was, just a bunch of numbers and bits and bytes and pokes and peeks and crazy stuff. We didn't have Windows. It was DOS. And so, but that was like the forefront of these guys starting to make games. And on my last final I had to do for this advanced programming class, I had to make a game. So I actually made like an RPG where you typed in things and basically you get responses back and you had to make a choice. And based on that choice, a storyline unfolded. It was awesome. But I kept it like under wraps, man, because I still had to stay cool and be a jock, right? Now let's add another element to that, and that is art. The other thing I really was good at, and I still kind of am, is art. I loved like drawing, creating artistic things. And I remember my art teacher, I was in advanced art for, I think 2 periods, like a 2-period of advanced art. And I would be in there and he'd say, well, and he knew I played football. And he said, why in the hell are you wasting your time playing football out there? It's not going to go. Do this art thing. I'll get you into college. And I never listened to him, Part of the reason was I just felt like, to be an artist, you had to be one of those like really passionate people. It had to be like in your blood just boiling out if you were going to make it. And it wasn't me. I was good at it. I liked it, but I didn't have that passion. So I didn't pursue it. The reason I tell you about that is this is all going to come together. So the art part, being kind of creative, the computer part, and then the jock part. All kind of this made up old shake and bake, right? Fast forward. I got one of those computers. Actually, my parents were nice enough to get me an Atari 800. I used that at home. I loved it. Fast forward. I go off to the military. I do my stint as an Army Ranger. Gaming days are pretty much, the doing computer stuff is pretty much over at that point, right? And get out. I'm in my like 20s, Now it's starting college, and all that. Then working, going to school, working odds and end jobs, Then I go end up basically starting a career in the career that I was in for 20 years. And I had that itch. The gaming had evolved. I knew that. I didn't know how much though, since, my recollection was those days of DOS, Atari 800, Donkey Kong and Dig Dug and all those games, right? Pong. And so I revisited. I got a Commodore, not a Commodore. I got a Dell PC, which was a big mistake, but I get a Dell PC. And I think it might have been the first game I got, or maybe one of the first, was what you see behind you right here. Move over. Quake 2, baby. I get in this game, and I just played the single player. I loved it. Oh, I thought it was so amazing looking compared to what I remembered gaming being like in high school. It was just crazy. And I loved it, loved it, loved it. And then, so I'm dabbling in gaming again, right? I got Quake 2. Let's check out some other images here. And then I start checking out as later in the years, I start upgrading my PC. And I'll tell you guys right now, the best thing I ever did was build your own PC. Don't ever buy a proprietary PC. Don't do it. Build your own. And then I come across this Battlefield 2. A guy at work tells me, you got to check this out, man. He goes, you can go on with all these people and play I never played multiplayer. What am I talking about? So jump on there. Now my mind is really blown. I'm like, my God, this is crazy. I'm starting to like this like a lot. It's like fun. But I wasn't doing a whole bunch of it. No YouTube and really too much. And then let me go. That's the wrong one, Shake. Let's enough of that one. Then I get into Call of Duty 4. And I tell you what, man, I don't like Call of Duty now. Call of Duty 4 was epic. And that's when I really got the bug for gaming. Again, and this is years later, I got into Call of Duty 4, and my PC's running better. I got into this community. We were on the server, like one of the number one ranked servers. I was one of the admins, man, and we only had one rule in the server, and that rule was you couldn't camp. We caught you camping, you were banned. Banhammer came out. We were nut jobs about that. We wanted constant action. You had to be moving, frags flying, bodies hitting the floor. And that's how our server was. It was just one mosh pit of chaos. We loved it. Had a lot of fun doing that. And what else did I do with and I think I maybe did a video or two. They weren't nothing that great, in that time frame. And then let's see if I got another image. I think I do. And here's another oldie but goodie I got into kind of in the Quake days. I can't remember timeline wise, I'm getting older. Was Rainbow Six. Yes, the original, baby. I used to play that along with like Quake 2. You're snooping and pooping. It was one shot, one kill. You had to plan your missions. That was an awesome game. And all of these were new for me from what I remembered in gaming in my high school days, which again was Dig Dug Pug and Donkey Kong. And so this flame in me was just like, oh man, I'm liking that game. It was a kind of an outlet for me. But you got to remember, just like in high school, where I was kind of this jock. Well, I had a professional career. I was working my way up from the bottom. Before I knew it, I was in a management position, suit and tie. Then before I know it, I'm at headquarters. I got 500 employees under me. I'm on the executive leadership team of this in a big company, but in secret, I was a gamer. And you don't want to tell people that because you didn't want them to think something weird about you, because there was a stigma to it, maybe. And but I remember at big meetings, I'd be sitting there sometimes like taking notes, and sometimes I'd be doodling like map images or something. It was pretty twisted. But if you're a diehard gamer like me, you know what I'm talking about. So don't be acting all like you don't do that. But I'm at this point focused on my career in this job, and supporting my family and doing all those things. And it was an awesome career. I loved it. 20 years, right? Have some, and basically kind of semi-retire. Well, retire from that, but I'm not retired. And some other life-changing stuff. We move and different things. And I find myself now back into gaming. And I towards the end of that career, I did start the YouTube thing, but it was slow, nothing too crazy. And part of why I did it, why I liked the gaming, especially then, was it was like escape. Not escape from reality, but kind of, like it's this digital, in my opinion, I think back to my art days, it is like a digital medium that's interactive. I know that sounds deep, but it's like you get to go in this three-dimensional world that's not three-dimensional, it's in your screen, but it looks three-dimensional. And you can be a different character, you can like interact and meet other people, even if it's in the internet fake world, whatever. But you can be challenged, and there's creativity. Those guys are artists. Those women and men making these games, to me, are artists. Like the stuff they create is just very artistic. Some people go to a gallery, to look at art. To me, this is kind of art, an interactive art. It's alive, and I think that's just cool. I don't know why. So again, now we're towards the end. We're almost getting up to current shake and bake here. I know I'm dragging this out, but who cares? And I want to hear your guys' stories. Hope you guys are enjoying this. So what happens is, probably Battlefield Bad Company 2 is probably when I really started to make some videos and get into it. I had another channel actually, and I stopped making the videos, but probably hasn't been for like the last 2 years where I really have gotten into this, with this life change, leaving my other job and started doing these videos. And part of it is, I think you get to be really creative. When I make a video, I really try hard to make it creative, something different, from what I've done before, something maybe funny, entertaining, informative. And I do, before you put yourself on a webcam, I do, should I do that? Before I did the webcam, people knew I was, was it better? But you know what? I don't care. There's no turning back. And part of me being comfortable in front of the camera and speaking, probably speaking too much sometimes, is in that job I had. I did a lot of that, public appearances. I was guest speakers at places. I did a lot of public speaking, and there's kind of a rush about it that I like. And I know it sounds kind of sick, but I like it. And I'm thinking that one person asked about, maybe you should be doing something different than gaming because you're older. And I think it's a good point, because what I've thought about is I like the gaming, I like doing the videos, but I'm never going to be a big YouTuber because I am older, and I think my content is different than probably some of the other YouTubers out there, and I'm not going to I can't do some of the stuff that younger people are doing. So part of me has thought about expanding this channel into other things. I'm not quite sure what that's going to be yet, but I'm going to start with these video logs and then kind of go from there. And on the other part of this is there was, I ran into a Shirley Curry, 79-year-old gamer, and I interviewed her on What's Shakin', a show I was doing. And she was awesome. What an awesome human being. She told me how she loved the game. She called her PC the Beast. She's got over 100 and something thousand subscribers. She makes videos, which is awesome. Very, very nice lady. But she told me, I asked her, why does she do it? She said, I know there's gamer closets out there that are older. She goes, like she is, like you are, Shake, that are embarrassed to say they game, but in secret they do. She goes, so I do this to encourage them to come out of the closet. I just thought that was an amazing inspirational reason to be doing what she's doing. And so here I am, and partly because of Sherry Curry a little bit. Maybe there's some other older gamers out there, and I think it's okay. I think it's all balanced as long as you're not doing it too much, and all those things. I do have a brother-in-law who likes to game, and he's a really responsible guy, real awesome brother-in-law, and he loves to game. And I know maybe you'll watch this. He loves to game. And it's pretty funny, actually, because him and I razz each other. So I wanted to tell the story I got. And as far as the YouTube thing, I'm going to keep doing it. I guess I think I'm going to expand the repertoire. I am at some point going to tell you guys about my music. I love music. I love art, all that stuff. And I'm going to tell you guys about my musical journey. I have a really, really, I think, neat story that some of you may enjoy, and how I learned to play this classical guitar. How that happened. It was really a bunch of weird flukes, like it was meant to be. And I'm going to tell that one, I think, next time, my next video log. I know this went long, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, I thank you guys for really nice comments. And I look forward to hearing maybe how you got into gaming, why you game. And hope this helps you learn a little more about sHaKeNbAkE and why I do this. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Happy Friday, and have a great weekend. Cheers.